Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and it's becoming more and more clear that new home builders are under a tremendous amount of pressure and are facing quite possibly massive financial problems. Now, it's especially important to understand that if you're like me and you're on the sidelines waiting for your dream home. Now, as a result of all of the interest rate hikes from the Federal Reserve, this is shattering demand. And when demand is shattered, typically new builders are the first people to show signs of that impact. So, my new strategy, like I'm trying to tell you guys, is first of all, I'm going to be watching the entire market. So, I'll be watching resales, but my current strategy is going to be purchasing a primary residence from a new builder, because those financial burdens and that continuous pressure on those new home builders are going to create buying opportunities for us. And what will happen is these new home builders will not only create buying incentives like paying all of your closing costs, like paying for all of your upgrades, but they're also going to reduce the prices on their homes so that they can sell their spec homes. Because here's the reality of the situation. Unlike current homeowners, new home builders do not have favorable financing and must continuously get rid of their homes in order to stay in business. And that's why I'm yelling and screaming at you guys. Watch your local market and watch the new home builders, especially Lennar. And I just did a video, an update video, where I actually just checked Lennar, and they are cutting the prices on their houses like crazy, at least in my local housing market. And obviously, you guys, local housing markets vary from metro area to metro area. But in other words, what's going to happen is we will continue throughout this year of 2022 to get inventory surges from new home builders. But not only that, from investors, whether those investors are flipping or speculating. I'm starting to see inventory explode. And what I've noticed is many homes, probably 1 in 3, sometimes even more, many of the homes that are listed right now are vacant. So the fact that inventory is going up with resales, that's going to put even more pressure on new home builders to reduce their prices, to offer more buyers incentives so that they can move their products. But today, what we're going to do is we're going to unpack an article from Zillow titled June New Home Sales, Builder Slowdown Meets Declining Sales. And I could tell you guys, the new home builders right now do not like that. And me, I'm kind of stuck in between, because I know, they're greedy new home builders. They're greedy. I get it. But the reality is, even though this bubble was created from demand, hyper demand, we still have a long-term supply problem. So we quite frankly need these people to continue to build. If we don't, the moment the Federal Reserve flip-flops, and if we have another period of hyper demand, we're going to be right back in the same situation. And the definition of craziness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So that's why I'm saying we need to figure out how to help these guys, but help them in a way to where that help is transitioned to first-time buyers, right? So help them in a way to where they can help first-time home buyers, because it's the first-time home buyers, in my opinion, that deserve the best deals. Either way, you guys, let's get started in this article right now. Okay, guys, so here's just a couple snippets of this article. And, these are really important data points here. So the first one is there were 590,000 new home sales nationwide in June. That's down 8.1% from May, and down, here's the big number, 17.4% from June 2021, and that's according to the U.S. Census Bureau. The median sales price of new homes sold in June was $402,400, and you guys, that represents right here a 9.5% month-over-month decline in value and in prices. And this is what we are waiting for. And again, remember, it starts with new home builders and then transfers over to the resale homeowners, okay? But this is absolutely spectacular news. 9.5% reduction month over month is huge, because that's just 1 month. This goes on. The seasonally adjusted estimate of new homes for sale at the end of June was 457,000. A supply, you guys ready for this? Of 9.3 months at the current sales rate. Things are happening at lightning speed. What this is telling us is what the Federal Reserve is doing is working. It's also telling me that they are late to the party and we would not have to go through this pain if they started this in 2021. But regardless, you guys, we need home values to go down even more than 9.5% because what we're really saying is we need affordability to go down. And generally, when the price goes down, it gets more affordable to buy a house. But not only that, the more that prices go down, the safer you are in the immediate near term, the safer you are as a new homeowner as far as not being trapped upside down in your house. And I cannot express to you guys enough. Most of the people that listen to me understand because they're logical and they understand simple math. But most people understand when I say better to have a higher interest rate than an overvalued house for so many reasons, right? For so many reasons. And again, you guys, the problem with these new home builders, they don't have low rates. They don't have 30-year fixed rate mortgages. A lot of times, if they can't sell within a certain amount of time, they inherit massive fees and massive penalties because they have unfavorable financing. Okay, remember that. So they're going to get hit first. We need to keep our eyes on them. 9.5% decline already in value in sales. Absolutely shocking. But let's get back to this article right now. And you guys, this is the last part of the article. But before I end this video, I'm also going to show you Fred economic data as far as home values, as far as new home values, so that you guys can also see the decline in value for new homes. But let's finish out this article right now. A June decline in new home sales was to be expected given recent market shifts and reported slump in home builder sentiment. But the reported value of 590,000 new home sales in June was way under consensus and in line with the low levels that followed the onset of the pandemic in April 2020. After months of racing to put up homes in order to meet the red-hot housing market conditions, builders are suddenly seeing more and more contract cancellations, sellers of existing homes cutting prices, and homes lingering on the market. Buyers, meanwhile, have scaled back their activity, thank goodness, amid persistent affordability challenges and rising home buying costs. And this may just be the beginning of a difficult stretch for the home building industry. Decelerations in housing permits and starts activity will put a cap on sales in the near term and suggest that builders are bracing for a rougher road ahead, even as the housing market remains hungry for more inventory, with long-run demand staying put. So what this is really telling me is that new builders were put for a loop. They were also whiplashed because they didn't properly prepare, right? And I think the reason why they didn't properly prepare is because they assumed, like so many people, that we were in this mess because of limited supply and that they can continue to build as many homes as they wanted without being at risk. But the reality is what we've learned is this housing market bubble was created from demand. When you cripple demand from this housing market bubble, things are going to come crashing down very, very rapidly. And that's exactly what you're seeing if you're seriously looking at the data. Again, you guys, there's no need to guess. There's no need to speculate anymore because all I have to do now is show you guys the data and follow the trend because the trends and the trajectory of the data tell the story, right? I don't have to tell the story. The data does. But take a look at this chart from Fred right now so I can show you these price drops. This is insane. Okay, y'all, take a look at this. This is Fred median sales price for new houses. Okay, this is new houses. This does not count resale houses. Now, as you can see, the peak was in April. It went down slightly in May. From April to May, it went down slightly. But look at this. This is a straight plunge from May to June. So the value and prices of new homes went down 9.5% month over month. Do you see that? That is a fantastic trend if you're like me on the sidelines waiting for things to change. So what we could expect now is this trend to follow in the resale market, because again, it starts with new home builders. But what I want to point out as well is look at pre-pandemic. So pre-pandemic, we're about here. So we're still way high, right? So I'm not saying go buy a house right now. What I'm saying is thank God that it's trending downwards, right? Instead of upwards. That's what I'm really saying, but we still need it to go down. We're still way too high. We're still in a bubble. So, in other words, keep waiting. But again, and this goes out to Jeff, my man, Jeff, I love you, but my man, Jeff is discouraged. He is not seeing in his local market price reduction. So, Jeff, what I'm saying, brother, stay patient and you better not give up. Do not give up. Lean on me a little bit. Please just give it a little bit more time. And more specifically, lean on the data across the nation. If you're in a housing market or a metro area that is not showing signs of cooling, do not worry. It will spread as it always does. Other than that, you guys, that's all I have for you today. I always appreciate you following along with me on my videos. And if you're out there investing in real estate, I wish you luck and I hope you win.